number 10, we have girl boss Zendaya and her leading man Tom Holland. Now I know, who would have guessed Hollywood's it couple would land on today's list? Well, there is a scary amount of celebrity lovers who've given me a reason to place them in 10th. Still, the majority love this couple and think Zendaya is the one for Tom. Yeah, confusing, I know, but stay with me here. Fans' wishes for the couple to separate stems from a deeply controversial issue surrounding the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The duo originally met on the set of Spider-Man Homecoming, where many netizens quickly stressed their distaste for Zendaya bagging the role of the main character's love interest due to her skin color and her race. Avid MCU fans have endlessly pointed out MJ being a pale white woman rather than a fair-skinned one, with genuine reddish-orange hair as opposed to the artificially dyed look Zendaya obtained for the movie's premiere. The hate only intensified for the actress when the following set of Spidey movies were released, as Zendaya was still rightfully positioned next to frontman Tom as his on-screen lover. Since 2017, they've played love interests, but most recently, there have been rumors circulating their potential breakup. However, there's not much theory behind these claims. The couple was first forced to confirm their relationship after the paparazzi exposed them smooching at a stoplight, but before this, they were pretty tight-lipped about their romance due to their wishes for wanting privacy. Their last public display of affection was Zendaya's IG post on June 1st for a short but sweet tribute to Tom's birthday. It seems we'll never really know if these guys will ever split for sure, as they seem to be happily minding their business together. Still, one fan said, "While I appreciate Zendaya's BDE and protecting her man, I need them to stop the farce." At number 9, we have former One Direction member and actress Olivia Wilde. Many speculate their relationship to be a PR stunt, and Allison from Distractify wrote, "Harry and Olivia film a movie together, she's the director. And then, once filming ends, there are photos of them spreading online looking lovey-dovey. Sounds a bit fishy, no?" The two's romance first came to light when they were spotted at Harry's manager, Jeff's California New Year's weekend wedding holding hands. But it probably doesn't help that the soloist was also cast in Olivia's psychological thriller, and now they're all booed up, does it? Fans worldwide, especially former Directioners, have expressed their utter refusal in regards to Harry and Olivia's blossoming relationship. At number 8, we have Britney Spears and Sam Asghari. Apparently, Britney's teenage sons and ex-husband are upset over Sam assumably avoiding Britney's quote mental issues, and are worried about Britney's mental health overall. Kevin Federline shares 2 sons with Britney and evidently needed to spill the tea on the relationship dynamics of his kids due to his worrying over her trauma. A source discussed with Page 6, quote, "Kevin did the interview because he and the boys are upset. They worry that everyone is completely ignoring the fact that Britney is battling mental issues, which is not a secret." Furthermore, the pop star currently married to Sam had a close source of her own brand Kevin's public attempts as pathetic and inexcusable. This is most likely a reference to the humiliation Kevin partook in against his wife when he posted an old video of her and her sons arguing on the gram. Kevin has also once declared his children did not have any desire to meet with their mother at that time. However, a Distractify writer named Kelly Corbett spoke about Britney and Sam's relationship dynamics with, "After all Britney has been through, I just want to make sure he's prioritizing her, and sometimes I feel like all he cares about are his biceps. In short, the vibes are off."
At number 7, Tina and Ike Turner. Ike and Tina Turner were a powerhouse couple in the eyes of the media as well as the fans at first, but behind the scenes things were messy and toxic, and once that became publicly known, people started to really hate the relationship. Ike and Tina first met while Tina was still a teenager, and soon they hit it off and started performing together. Soon their duo catapulted them to stardom, bringing them a lot of success, but because they were so close, things got really toxic. They got married in 1962 and stayed together for the following decade, but Tina was living her life in pain. In her book, Tina wrote about how Ike was a toxic partner, saying, quote, "He threw hot coffee in my face, giving me third-degree burns. He used my nose as a punching bag so many times that I could taste blood running down my throat when I sang. He broke my jaw. I couldn't remember what it was like to not have a black eye." End quote. Things got so bad that Tina wanted to end her own life, but thankfully she survived her attempt and used her survival as fuel to get the strength to leave Ike and this toxic life behind. After this horrible relationship was exposed, fans started to rethink their support of this relationship completely.
At number 6, we have wife Aniko Parrish and husband Kevin Hart. Now, Aniko has officially decided to remain by Kevin's side after Kevin confirmed his cheating scandal and publicly apologized to his pregnant partner for making a quote bad error in judgment. Aniko has reportedly already forgiven him though. As for his apology video, Kevin explained how he placed himself in an awful situation where only bad things happen, and had crossed the people who were closest to him in the process. There were claims made that Kevin was under threat of extortion, allegedly by a person who claimed they obtained a sexually suggestive video of the comedian and another woman. In turn, Kevin fessed up to his mistakes, and surprisingly, Aniko has since put their scandal behind her. They were later captured having lunch together in an LA neighborhood for the first time since Kevin posted his emotional apology video, making it seem as if no time had passed for them. According to the same insider from earlier, Aniko is quote aware of what's going on and that Kevin is not perfect. She has accepted his apology and is focused on her pregnancy and what's to come. She believes Kevin is a good husband and always comes home to her. She has no plans for divorce.
Number 5. Jesy Nelson and Jake Roche. When the former couple arrived together at the album release party for Little Mix's Get Weird in 2015, they were supposed to be in high spirits for the event. But the evening soon took a turn for the worst as somehow it ended up with Jesy crying. It was reported that Jesy allegedly had a massive fight with her then fiance before she decided she had had enough and stormed out. A source told the Daily Mirror newspaper that the girls had been having a great night, drinking and even dancing on the tables the whole night until the early hours. But somewhere around the AM, Jesy and Jake had a tiff, and Jake stomped off to a nearby hotel, and Jesy was clearly sobbing and she took a cab home. The singer was spotted leaving the venue in London and hopping into a cab in the early hours of the morning with makeup smudged around her face and eyes bloodshot after the fight. The couple announced their split the following year, so it looked like in this case the fight may have been indicative of a larger issue in their relationship. According to reports, the reason they split was because Jesy wanted to start a family, but Jake, who was only 24, felt that he was too young to be a father and that they had the rest of their lives to have children.
At number 4, we have Olivia Munn and John Mulaney. Reportedly, John cheated on his wife by impregnating Olivia after he allegedly discussed not wanting to have kids in his life. Apparently, a source also called Olivia a pick-me girl. The world just seems to mutually dislike these two together, so it's really not a surprise that they're here. Quite frankly, they've confused the heck out of the public and are constant top spot media outlet cover stories for the wild pregnancy that just turned about all romance fans off. Back in May, a People News drop revealed that the TV host and comedian were an item. A source described their meeting to be in an LA church, but that they actually had awkward interactions in previous years. The insider also stated how Olivia and John were looking to take things slowly. However, their first expected child became news only 4 months afterwards. John extended the news on Seth Meyers' late night show, where John spoke about Olivia in a picture-perfect Disney fairy tale type way. But some fans are just not feeling it, and many netizens are upset with both parties and have expressed their endless reasons why they believe Olivia and John's relationship is just bad news.
At number 3, Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Prince Charles and Princess Diana were once considered one of the most beloved celebrity couples, and the world loved them. Well, they loved Diana, but soon they became hated because of the rumors surrounding Charles's extramarital affairs. Behind closed doors, Diana was sad and neglected by her husband, but no one knew that until later on. She was always second best in Charles's eyes, having never gotten over his infatuation for Camilla Parker Bowles, a woman that he was told he could never have. Diana regretted marrying Charles because she always knew that there would be 3 in the marriage: her, Charles, and Camilla. So when they got divorced, she was finally free, and the people turned on Charles for being so cruel to Diana. So I guess the people didn't necessarily hate the relationship as a whole, just Charles.
At number 2, we have the married couple momentarily deemed as the world's worst. Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith's relationship has been under scrutiny as far back as Jada exposing herself for entangling herself with younger musician August Alsina. Since then, tensions have been increasing, and the two have only picked up more hate speed steam after Will's infamous Chris Rock Oscar slap that resulted in the actor being banned from the show for a decade. According to numerous reports, these two are headed to divorce land, and it won't be pretty once it's finalized. However, despite word-of-the-mouth sayings that they are determined to separate with one of the ugliest divorce proceedings in the history of the entertainment business, Will and Jada themselves have already stated that they have no interest in divorcing. In fact, aside from their constant ups and downs, Jada has deemed their time as one for recovery, and Will has stated that they have no room for separation. Where this gets weird though is that a close friend of the couple made claims that there have been a cloud in the two's relationship for years, and that their current communication is super limited. The state of California also has a law that states Jada will receive approximately $350 million if the two were to ever get divorced. So yes, of course they should break up, but who's the one really benefiting from it here? At number 1, we have Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. Any guesses as to why they're a top spot? Well, the public seems extremely over them lately, especially with their latest breakup rumors flying through the Hollywood wind. Despite MGK calling Megan his wife at his latest concert, fans are hoping and pleading for them to just call it quits. Their unconventional romantic ways and blasphemy gossip over informing all the details of their love have been the topic of many fans' conversations, but for a much different reason now. Speculations that they are no longer together are even crazier now that Meghan had refrained from posting MGK on her social media, and apparently walked away from the musician leaning in for a kiss on a red carpet, according to some eagle-eyed fans. Many have theorized trouble in their relationship in light of Meghan not publicly speaking about MGK since his Life in Pink Hulu documentary. However, MGK is still touring, so their lack of movement may have an actual reason.
Number 10. Kirsten Dunst and Garrett Hedlund. This is a great way to start off the list because even though this public fight was embarrassing, it seemed like the couple were able to shrug it off relatively quickly. We're going to talk about the epic couple fight that happened way back in 2012 between actress Kirsten Dunst and her on-the-road co-star Garrett Hedlund, who just recently started dating at the time. Although the actors had plenty in common and things started going well initially, cameras caught the couple having a major argument on their way to a movie theater, which was so intense it looked like it was about more than which movie they were seeing. It looked like something had sparked a pretty big fight as the pair continued to hurl insults at each other on the way. Whatever happened in the car that day, it was probably just a petty argument because they ended up dating for another 4 years. And in 2015, Kirsten said, quote, "We're the same age, we have similar backgrounds, he feels like family to me." But sadly, like most other good things, the relationship came to an end in April of 2016. Number 9. John Mayer and Jessica Simpson. If there's one thing that Hollywood knows by now, it's that John Mayer is a bit of a playboy. His reputation as a womanizer definitely precedes him, so that's why everyone at one point was really surprised to see him with Jessica Simpson. He raised eyebrows when he used the phrase sexual napalm to describe his romance with Simpson and even compared her to a certain illicit substance that he said he couldn't get enough of. The couple dated for a year, but they broke up several times throughout their relationship. In fact, sources close to the couple told people that things were always on and off between the pair and they had arguments constantly. Unfortunately, 2006 marked the year that they decided to finally split for good. The couple was on vacation in Mexico when there were photos snapped of them arguing on the balcony of their room. Jessica looked like she was in tears and it was undoubtedly a breakup. The news of their split came shortly after the photos were released, meaning there's a good chance that the paparazzi actually captured the moment when Jessica and John called things off for good. Number 8. Adrienne Maloof and Sean Stewart. Apart from their almost 20-year age difference, it seemed like there were a myriad of other issues that plagued the brief relationship between Rod Stewart's son, Sean Stewart, and former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member Adrienne Maloof. The couple split up after having a blowout fight on the red carpet. According to eyewitnesses, the duo arrived separately and Adrienne walked the red carpet with an even younger man, 24-year-old Jacob Bush. TMZ spotted the pair fighting next to the red carpet at the charity event, which definitely marked the end of their on-again, off-again relationship. The argument between them got heated and Sean could be seen storming off, telling his ex, "I'm done," when her date tried to approach him. Stewart later claimed to Brandy Glanville on her podcast, quote, "I do want to clear up one rumor. She never broke my heart." But when it came time to explain the bizarre public fight, the reality TV star only told Star Magazine, quote, "I have a lot of changes going on in my life. I went through a period of darkness and I am much happier now than ever. Things are good."
At number 7, we have Dance Bomb star JoJo Siwa and her on-again, off-again girlfriend Kylie Prew. The two once announced their reunion via Instagram with a Disney World post where they were captured kissing in front of Cinderella's castle straight out of a fairy tale. However, the two split for 7 months prior, and because of this, fans are already foreshadowing another breakup for them in the near future. Some are even wishing it happens now. Rumors of the rekindling were first sparked in April 2022 when JoJo did an extra interview and hinted at how in love she currently was. At that point, speculation that it could be Kylie arose when JoJo purposely left out who it could be, and while many showed support, some were super resistant about them getting back together. Since their breakup in November 2021 left JoJo heartbroken, JoJo did everything from dating Kylie for the first time after a cruise ship in 2019, turning their friendship into something more, and coming out as a member of the LGBTQ+ community following 2 years to reveal her initial relationship.
Number 6. Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck. The stars were photographed having a very emotional moment inside a car prior to their divorce. Back in 2016, the pair were arguing in their SUV after dropping their 3 children at school when things started to get really heated. Just looking at the picture that has been circulated online, you can tell that Jennifer was getting very frustrated with whatever Ben was saying and she proceeded to make hand gestures throughout the argument, probably because she felt like she wasn't being heard. At one point, she can actually be seen breaking down in tears inside the vehicle. But this instance wasn't a one-off, and recently it seems like Ben has a lot of explaining to do. The 49-year-old was caught earlier this year puffing on his cigarette fiercely while appearing to be in another fight with Jennifer on the streets of Los Angeles. The exes appeared to be locked in a heated conversation outside her car just hours after it was revealed that Ben and his now fiancée Jennifer Lopez bought a $50 million home together. The pair rekindled their relationship in April last year, almost immediately after she ended her engagement with Alex Rodriguez. So the timing is definitely interesting.
At number 5, Mike Tyson and Robin Givens. This relationship was pretty controversial at the time and sort of still is because people really don't know whose side that they want to take, but either way it was toxic and hated by a lot of people. Back in the late 80s, Mike Tyson was dating model Robin Givens. Shortly after they started dating, Robin announced that she was pregnant with Mike's child, and so he married her to, quote, do the right thing. Mike had given Robin and her mother $15 million in order to get themselves settled in a nice house, and it seemed like Mike took care of them. But after a few months passed, Mike noticed that Robin's pregnancy wasn't progressing, and that's when she told him that she had actually lost the baby months prior and just didn't tell him. He was hurt by this discovery but still stayed by her side. It wasn't until their famous Barbara Walters interview came out that things really cracked for the couple and got really toxic. The interview was originally supposed to be an exclusive with Mike, but apparently before things got started, Robin had pulled Barbara to the side to tell her that she had some things that she wanted to say, and then proceeded to speak out about how Mike had allegedly been hurting her, saying that she was mistreated in the relationship. They divorced soon after, but people believe that the whole truth wasn't uncovered. Sources say that Robin was manipulating Mike and that things had been toxic because of her, but Mike just let it go. This was all over the place, so a lot of people just don't know what to think of it.
Number 4, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. Their infamous on and off again relationship was definitely not free from arguments, and some of them were caught on camera. Right before Selena and Justin got on a plane to Paris, they got into a huge fight while at Princess Juliana International Airport in St. Martin, and unfortunately it looked like a massive one. In the video, we see Justin and Selena sitting in their car outside the airport in St. Martin before their Paris flight. Selena storms out of the car, walks into the airport by herself and throws her bag on the floor. Justin didn't immediately follow her, instead he chose to sit in the car for a little bit, which probably made her even more mad. When he did enter a few minutes later, she was chatting with a fan that had a baby, and Justin came over and they silently walked to their flight. You could tell both of them were equally frustrated, but in 2014, this was only one of the many public fights that the couple would go on to have. In fact, after their romantic trip, they went to Paris Fashion Week, which led to more arguing because Justin reportedly went to dinner with Kendall Jenner and partied with her at the same party that Selena was at. She flew out the next morning alone, leaving Justin in Paris, and then deleted him off Instagram.
At number 3, we have reality star Kourtney Kardashian and her partner Travis Baker. Fans have been wanting them to break up ever since they started dating, and it seems that insiders have revealed that Kourtney's kids and ex are also uncomfortable with their romance. Endless media scrutiny has painted Kourtney and Travis as attention seekers who are playing up their PDA for the media. And even though their relationship supposedly started through the connection of getting their kids together to play, Mason, who is active on social media, seems to be super turned off by the lengths the couple have gone through to express their desire for one another. In the beginning, fans saw wholesome content online like hand-holding between the two, before things got weird with suggestive videos like Kourtney sucking on Travis's thumb. From then, and probably long before, people were completely turned off and fake gagging, including Kourtney's kids being grossed out and not supporting their relationship, according to the recent source. Their ACPDA post makes Kardashian fans cringe, and many have questioned the validity of the stars' romance. The two have been described as a showboating opportunity, and Kourtney has been put on blast for supposedly being a hypocrite for exposing her life with Travis after previously removing herself from her family's famous reality show due to her tiredness of sharing her life's details. So while they may seem genuine to very few, most believe their increase in their PDA-packed social media posts is merely a tactic for attention.
Number 2, Christopher Hivju and Guy Mulvere. If you forget about season 8, Game of Thrones was really an epic TV series that took over the world as soon as season 1 hit and made several of its stars household names. Norwegian actor Christopher was one of the stars who appeared in the series over the years, but it was his public fight with his wife, Gry, who is a photographer, that really got people talking. They say that redheads are known for their temper, so it seems like these two are really perfect for each other. The couple were spotted having a heated argument as they were shopping in Los Angeles, as Gry had reportedly been looking for a new dress. No one really knows what the fight was about, but onlookers claimed that their argument lasted for over an hour and escalated very quickly. During the fight, you can see the actor raises his hands in the air in frustration, while his wife, who looks incredibly distraught, has her eyes to the ground the whole time. The fight continued before they both stormed off. Just goes to show you how celebrities are normal people too. Number 1, Shia LaBeouf and Carolyn Foe. Yes, he's back on the list because the actor has a seriously extensive track record of public spats. Shia LaBeouf is fairly well known for his outlandish behavior, where he frequently just takes it way too far by getting kicked out of a performance of Cabaret or being arrested for public drunkenness in 2017. But this fight dates back to 2012 when he and his then girlfriend Carolyn were caught fighting on camera and having a tearful exchange on the side of the road in LA. It was then that rumors started circulating about the extent of Shia's involvement in the sex scenes in Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac, which were reportedly real. So naturally his girlfriend would be upset. She did not seem too thrilled that her actor boyfriend Shia had shared an intimate scene with his co-star in the movie. But Carolyn was pretty quick to deny the fight, telling the New York Daily News, quote, "It's none of anybody's business. Everything is fine with us. It was nothing affiliated with this movie." Although that might be true, clearly something had caused the couple to have a public screaming match on the side of the road in broad daylight. And just like that, in November the same year, the couple had officially decided to split for good.
At number 10, Eminem and Kim Mathers. When it comes to back and forth celebrity relationship drama, fans can get really tired of it after a while, so that could be the reason why people hated it when Eminem and Kim were together. Rapper Eminem, aka Marshall Mathers, has had a rocky relationship with his ex-wife Kim Scott, and it's sort of been that way since the very beginning. They first met in the late 80s when Marshall was 15 and Kim was 13, and they became pretty dependent of each other from the start. They lived together at his family home and later began a romantic relationship, moving in together and having a daughter. After years of being an on and off again couple, the two got married shortly before Marshall's first major tour. It was then that Kim saw Marshall and their relationship as imperfect, and she started to doubt whether she wanted this type of life for herself. Kim said that after the tour, Marshall got a big ego and he started treating her as someone not worthy of his love and presence because he was a big star. Kim also alleged that her husband had been cheating on her. The rapper's career had a very negative effect on their relationship, and so 2 years after tying the knot, they got divorced. They did get back together again briefly, but that ended again. This drama made a lot of fans' heads spin, so it's no wonder why people have negative things to say about these two. At number 9, Janet Jackson and James DeBarge. Now, I'm not sure if everyone hated this relationship, but there was certainly one person in particular who really did not approve. Janet Jackson experienced her first taste of married life when she was only 18 years old when she married James DeBarge in 1984, but their marriage only lasted about a year. Before getting married, they were pretty good friends, and Janet had been friends with James since she was 13 years old. It seems as though they had been in love for a while, and so they took the first opportunity they had to get married. Though Janet's father Joe did not approve of the marriage, they went through with it anyway and were together for 15 months. After they split up, there had been a rumor swirling around that alleged that Janet and James had a child, but they gave it up for adoption in order to save their careers and public image after James brought all of this up in 2016. It's never been proven, but it still remains a wild theory. Janet eventually ended up getting their marriage annulled because of James' substance abuse as it began to take a toll on their relationship. I would imagine that Janet's dad also played a role in getting this marriage annulled since he was completely against it in the first place. Now, before I carry on talking about why people hate these couples so much, why not leave us a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and while you're at it, maybe even smash that subscribe button to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. I remember when Selena and Justin were the talk of the town. Everyone was obsessed with their relationship, always asking them questions about their lives together, and news sources were always covering the drama that was going on with them. They started dating in 2011 when they were still teenagers, and from that point they had a rocky time together, which is why years after they've broken up, some fans have grown to hate their relationship because of how toxic it was. Already people were pretty aware of how toxic Selena and Justin's relationship was simply because of how many times they had public breakups and makeups, but in early 2020, Selena came forward to talk more in depth about their relationship and the negativity that she faced. Selena said that she was, quote, a victim of certain mistreatments, saying that what she felt was emotional mistreatment from Justin. She also went on to say that it took her a long time to find strength in her experiences and to shake her, quote, victim mentality. Justin in late 2019 did open up about his actions in past relationships, saying that he became, quote, resentful, disrespectful to women, and angry. Clearly there was a lot of negativity going on, so people really did not like the fact that they were together.
Number 7. Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk. Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk were one of the power couples in Hollywood. The two dated for nearly 4 years before calling it quits in 2019. However, the two have created many memories which fans fondly remember, even one of them at the famed tennis tournament. Paparazzi caught what looked like a super awkward argument between actor Bradley Cooper and his model girlfriend at the 2016 Wimbledon's men final. In the video footage from that day, Bradley was caught whispering into Irina's ear while she appears to cry and turn her head away from the actor. She appeared to be dabbing tears out of her eyes and then crossed her arms and refused to look at him. In the video, he then went back to watching the tennis and she just sat in silence beside him. While it's not clear why the two were really fighting or what they could have been possibly fighting about, but that didn't stop people online from speculating wildly the way the internet loves to do. Some even suggested that Bradley and Irina were fighting over his ex-girlfriend Suki Waterhouse. Although it feels like you can almost cut the tension with a knife, TMZ later reported that sources close to the couple claimed Irina was simply battling pollen allergies. Well, it really could have been anything.
At number 6, Mel Gibson and Oksana Grigorieva. Mel Gibson is probably one of the most hated people in Hollywood, so it's no surprise that his relationship would be hated too. Mel was in a toxic relationship with his former partner Oksana Grigorieva, and so many people hated it. The two had a very messy breakup in 2010, and at this time an audio recording came out that showed Mel yelling at Oksana and saying horrible things to her about her body because he was mad that she allegedly lied to him about getting breast implants. In the recording, Mel was heard saying things like how he hated the way that she looked, claiming that she looked provocative and inappropriate, and even saying that if she were to be taken advantage of, that it would be her fault for looking the way that she did. This was a nasty, swear word ridden rant that honestly no one deserves to hear. If this recording didn't paint enough of a toxic picture, then I don't know what would. This made people hate this relationship even more than before.
At number 5, we have Justin Bieber and his apparent mistreatment of his wife Hailey Bieber. It seems like the world is super divided when it comes to this pairing because one half believes Justin is genuinely mean to her and the other feels as if people are looking far too deep into situations and crafting scenarios. Still, there is a reason to believe and deny both claims. A video floating around the internet from Kendall Jenner's 818 Tequila brand party is at the center of the Justin-Hailey debate. In it, Justin is reportedly shouting at Hailey around 2 a.m. and his expressions reportedly strongly suggested anger, stress, and intense vibes overall. It was obviously indicated that Justin was yelling at his wife, but the reason behind it is still unknown. Apparent witnesses who were near or with the star all night tell a much different story though. Some fans soon chimed in to weigh in on the final decision with comments like, "I was right there behind him and he was not yelling at her. He had just gotten off stage at the club and was hyped and had all this adrenaline. They were both smiling and laughing, but of course that's not the part of the video that gets posted. Stop twisting things." Another few said, "It's obvious he's angry, hard to deny there's trouble, the press always trying to make him look bad, and he's making it hard to believe he's a good guy. Imagine how he yells at her when it's not in front of all the cameras."
At number 4, Axl Rose and Erin Everly. The tumultuous relationship of Axl Rose and Erin Everly is one that was pretty hated after allegations started to come out about what went on behind the scenes. Axl and Erin met in the early days of Axl's career, and soon they became inseparable. Erin became one of the most important people in Axl's life, being the inspiration for the song Sweet Child of Mine, and things looked good on the outside. Despite being a good-looking match on the outside though, they had a tumultuous relationship. Even through all of that though, they still ended up getting married in a Las Vegas ceremony in 1990. According to Erin, Axl actually threatened to harm himself if she didn't marry him, so things were already off to a rocky start. The marriage was annulled in 1991, just 9 months after getting married, and in 94, Aarons filed a civil lawsuit against Axel, where she alleged that she was hurt by her then husband. After that information came out, people started to hate the fact that this relationship was praised for so long.
Number 3. Johnny McDaid and Courtney Cox. These two are also known for their on-again, off-again relationship, and after getting back together once again after a brief split, the actress and her musician boyfriend were seen arguing outside a West London restaurant and appeared to be exchanging heated words as they dined outside during Courtney's visit to the British capital. In one shot, the former Friends actress can be seen waving her arms and phone in front of Johnny's face, while in another, she looks frustrated as she held her head in her hands. Not long after, she gave her then fiancé the silent treatment before getting to her feet to leave the restaurant. For some background, the pair have been engaged, unengaged, and living separately for the majority of their relationship, even though they've been together for 7 years. And so this argument really fueled rumors of more relationship problems. The argument was reportedly about the couple planning their nuptials when they started fighting about the finer details, and insiders told reporters that the couple couldn't agree where they would live, as Johnny supposedly wanted to move back to the UK and Courtney wanted to remain in LA.
At number 2, Chris Brown and Rihanna. One of the most toxic relationships out there was that between Chris Brown and Rihanna, and everyone grew to hate it. No one is quick to forget the incident that happened after the pre-Grammys party in 2009. On the night before the Grammy Awards, Chris and Rihanna got into a serious physical altercation which left Rihanna hospitalized from her injuries. Chris was labeled as a monster for what he did that night. A police investigation was conducted. As a result, he was sentenced to 5 years probation and 6 months community service. A lot of people believe that he should have been given a harsher sentence because of how severely he hurt his girlfriend, and he received a lot of hate. People use this as an example to show people that these relationships should not be so praised, and it caused a lot of people to rethink their support. And finally, at number 1, Saweetie and Quavo. No one really acknowledged it until recently, but singer Saweetie and Quavo had a toxic relationship. Shortly after announcing their breakup, footage was leaked which showed the former couple fighting in an elevator. The footage showed the two of them in a physical altercation, showing Saweetie trying to strike Quavo, a suitcase being thrown, Quavo falling on top of his girlfriend, and ending with Saweetie limping away. Though the footage was from a year ago, it gave people a very different perspective on how the relationship was at the time, and fans started to hate the relationship. Both Saweetie and Quavo have said that they've moved on from the incident, but some fans still haven't moved on from this because they don't want to ever see them try and rekindle that toxicity again.